Hello. For 180. 180. It's heavy. It's in there. Frosthaven. Well, hello. Welcome back to the Tap Cave on a Monday. Good to see you. I thought I'd try and get back into the routine of doing some picking orders on a Monday. We have had a really busy weekend. We sold at a car boot sale on the Saturday. We cleared loads of stuff, made a load of money, and then spent all of that money on the Sunday at a yard sale event over in Westgate near Margate, which is the other side of Thanet from where we are. And we found so much stuff. You may have seen, we did a kind of haul on our Sunday Live, which is still available to watch if you want to go over and watch it. We barely showed half of what we picked up, but my favourite pickup of the day was a big collection of Jurassic Park figures, this sort of thing. Loads of them. There's a whole box full here. Most of it is the Jurassic Park stuff, but there's a bunch of Schleich stuff in there as well. These are the kind of medium-sized ones. They have electronic sounds and actions and do stuff. But there were two absolutely monstrous ones, which are down here, peeking over this box. I'm not sure you'll get a sense of the scale of these, but look at that. Hello. Yeah, these are so cool. Look at the size of that. I want to do a follow-up video and look into the values of this stuff. When I'll find time to do that, I don't know. I filmed at the boot sale, so there'll be a video coming of us selling. I filmed at the yard sale. I also filmed the video last week when I set myself a challenge to list as much as I could in one day. That was, yeah, that worked out well, and I'm still reaping the benefits of all the stuff I got listed last week. With that in mind, today for this video, the task is to pick orders from listed stock, most of which is here and some here and some here. All of this was listed last week. So I will find the laptop, which I think is still upstairs in the house. I'll go and grab that. We'll take a look, see what the total is, and then we'll pick some orders. Okay, so we need to find all of these. And these, and these, and it is 21 for £754.57p. Right, pop you up there. You might hear Jeff, he's barking away at the neighbour's dogs. Right, so I will perch the laptop there. While I went to get the laptop, we had a ka-ching. I've just sold another CD from this haul of sealed CDs in here, which is looking way less than it used to. I took a bunch of that stuff to the boot sale, and we did sell a few. So I need to remember to adjust my numbers on eBay. Right, but we'll start at the bottom. So phone case, phone screen protectors. These yellow boxes that you see everywhere, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types. They're going quite well. An A2, so one of those, which is for an iPhone 15. I think those are now on at £7. That seems to be a sweet spot. Can you hear him? Jeff? It's whenever I press go, right, and I start filming, he will kick off like clockwork. Right, hold on. I've been and had a word. He's very upset about something. What? I don't know. Anyway, right, so yes, phone case. Next, one of these CDs. We have sold a Sam Smith. In fact, I think there's 2 orders that came in. So this is Sam Smith's Gloria album. This has the track Unholy on it. That is such a good song. Amazing single. I think we sold 2. These are on at £4.50, part of that big free pickup we had. So let me just check. I think I saw another one come in. Yes, that one there. So 2 of those gone. Next, labels. We've sold a single pack of 25 sheets, which go out at $3.99. And while I'm thinking about labels, we also sold 1,000 sheets, which I've already sorted out because we were getting so low on stock. I needed to do a bit of a stock take, and it worked out we now have precisely 1,000 sheets left. So I have taken down my variation listing where you could buy anything from 1 pack, as that customer did, for $3.99, all the way up to 1,000 sheets. I've taken that listing down. That's where we sold most of the stock over the last year or so. And I have a listing running of just 1,000, and I've adjusted that to 1 left. When that goes, all of the labels, that whole palette of labels you may remember we bought, will have gone, which will be quite an achievement. So yes, big box of 1,000, and that the thousands I reduced. I think those went, let's have a look. I think it's 25. Believe it or not, the whole boxes, those cases which hold more than 1,000, I think it's 1,250 per box. They cost us £2 a box. So you can see there was some good margin in that. Okay, next, bowls, lawn bowls. I listed 2 sets as part of that listing challenge I set myself last week. And we've sold 1 set, the expensive ones. And they are down here. They are Henselite. We actually sold these twice. I sold them once and then we had to cancel. What was the reason? I can't even remember the reason. But it was because the seller was going away and wanted me to send it somewhere else. And then I explained that I'd have to send it to the address on the order, but I could cancel and they could reorder them. So we ended up going that route. I cancelled and I relisted them and I said, look, you'll just have to reorder. They didn't, but somebody else bought them. So they sold anyway. I think that's what happened. These have gone for £100 for the set. So they didn't stick around. So that's the lawn bowls. And then I listed all of the Kingdom Death Monster packs. All these piles up here are plastic models that you build and paint, and they go with a board game called Kingdom Death Monster. Yeah, a lot of value in that. And we've sold a bunch of them. I think we've sold 3. There's one there, sold for 90. This one here sold at 90, but I sent them an offer and they came back with a counter. So yeah, sorry, it didn't sell at 90. It was listed at 90. It sold for 80. So that one sold at 80 on a counter offer. And then we've sold another one at 90. Is that it? Yeah. So I'm going to have to go through and work out exactly which ones they are, but let me grab one to give you an idea. So most of them are sealed, a couple are open. But yeah, so they're off to a good start. I did think it's very specialist. I thought they'll be slower than this, but we sold 3 within the week. So yeah, pleased with that. So 3 of those gone for sort of around the £80–90 mark. Another phone case, a B3, that is, I said it again, phone case. They're not cases, they are glass screen protectors. These ones are 15 Pro Max. Done, £7 each. Now, again, going back to that video where I tasked myself to list as much as I possibly could in one day, I listed 2 big board games. One was a box with a main game and a load of expansions in. That sold quick for 400. And then the other one has now sold for 180. 180. It's heavy. It's in there. Frosthaven. So that's good. That's two very bulky items and some good value in there as well. Then we've got the labels. We've already talked about those. A viewer got in touch. Hello. And you had seen in a video that we had picked up some of these Tradewinds 90s face bowls. And you also saw that we had picked up some DVDs, and you asked, can you list the Tradewinds bowls and the Ghost Hunter DVDs and the Phoenix Night set? And I said, sure, I'll get those listed and you can buy them. Well, I did that, and by the time you got round to buying them, these were still available and you bought those, so thank you very much. Diana. So this is a sealed Phoenix Nights and a set of 4 Ghost Hunters DVDs. But somebody else bought the Tradewinds bowls straight away. So they weren't there. So unfortunately they went to somebody else. These. There's not masses of value in them. They were at 10, I think it was. And the same buyer that bought these also bought the Squishmallow. This guy. This is a unicorn. He does have a tiny little horn in there. Doink. And it's reversible. And I think it's a dragon on the inside. Yeah. So that was 10 as well. So £20 there. And these were 20 and 10, I think it was. So thank you very much, Diana. And apologies about the bowls. Because you contacted us through eBay, they had to be listed on eBay, and somebody else picked the bowls off before you got to them. Sorry about that. Next, an A1. So up there where you can't see, hang on, we have more of the phone cases. And these are for iPhone 15 Plus. So we have iPhone 15s, iPhone 15 Pluses, iPhone 15 Pro Maxes. Yeah. Another one of those gone. Those are slightly more for some reason. Those are £8 each. We've done the Death Monster stuff. Right. Dungeon Tiles, Desert of Athas. That one. This one, I think it was this one. Yeah, all of the dungeon tiles, these Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Tiles packs are sealed. But this one somehow is damaged. The cellophane's come off and the corner's a little bit damaged. So I actually listed this as used, even though it's sealed, and explained that. And put it on cheaper than I would have done. At £18 that's gone for. Probably would have listed it 25 or 30. But damaged like that. Yeah, happy to get the sale. That's gone. Another B3. There we go. So you can see these are selling nicely. Then Hinari Body and Soul Deep Heat Massager. Yes, this was another item from the video where I was trying to get as much listed in one day as possible. Where did I put it? What's the A6? A6. So A6 is down here. It should. Ah, here it is. Can you see this thing? So it was barely worth messing around with. And it's gone for a tenner. And it's a, infrared massager. So that's sold. Right, excellent. Kind of surprised it's gone. Sam Smith, we've already done the second Sam Smith. Another phone case, A2 iPhone 15. And the order that came in whilst I was upstairs finding the laptop was an Ed Sheeran CD. Now, we have loads of these. We've sold one, I think, at £4.50. So there we go. That's everything I need to package up today and get out of the door. Not bad, £750 worth leaving the building today. And loads of other stuff went last week from that big listing push I had. So it is going well. And we need to shift stuff because we have plenty of it. But getting hold of stuff has never been our problem. If you did see that haul video on Sunday, there was so much stuff available at this yard sale event. I don't think we even got around half of that event. And we have two cars currently. The big estate, the big Ford Focus estate, and we can get loads of stuff in there. We were in the little Fiesta we have with the seats down, but we filled that. We could barely get more in it. Yeah, so getting hold of stuff is not the issue. Getting it listed and sold is the bottleneck in our business. Yeah, look at that. It does look a bit chaotic behind there, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I need to get busy packaging stuff. If you would like to carry on watching me, I'll put another picking video up there. Here's me a bunch of years ago picking stuff at my old house. I'll see you over there in a sec. Ta-ra!